Maghrib time, and because I was in a state of being confused about the existence of God or otherwise, I said to myself, maybe I shouldn't pray. Because the condition of being someone who prays is being mu'min, is to believe in God. If you don't believe in God, then you don't have to pray. But the fact that I'm not sure about God, do I have to pray or I don't have to pray? He says, as he was walking, he came across today a scholar of grand repute. This is many years ago. This must have been 40 odd years ago he came across this person. A young scholar, Ayatollah Sheikh Ja'far Subhani. May Allah grant him the longest of lives. Today a leading giant figure of our school of thought. Some 40 years ago he comes across him in the Hawza Ilmiya. He says, as I came across him, I said to him, Shaykhana, I'm confused. I don't know whether I should be praying or not. I'm not sure if I believe in God or not. Should I be praying or should I not be praying? And the response from Sheikh Subhani, he quotes, he says, there is no problem in being confused about God. This is actually a sign of the mu'min, because he is struggling with his faith. He wants to learn more about God. He is seeking something. This doesn't mean that you should not be praying. This within you is the sign of you seeking more from God. This pain that you are feeling within you is God's way of calling you closer to Him. Don't think that God has separated Himself from you. You are closer to Him than you realize because you are asking about God, because you are seeking about God in the very first place. You see, there will be many people like this individual, one of the most famous individuals in the world, one of the greatest minds of our generation. He's confused. He's seeking something. He's saying, if God was to present him to me, if there was to be an evidence, then I would accept it. The majority of people are in that dilemma, that very same dilemma, where they want to know more. They're struggling for truth. They're seeking it. But because of the way in which religion and God has been presented to them, it has pushed them aside, or they're into a state of confusion and they don't know where to go for their own religion. They don't know where to go for answers. Now, there is a great scholar. I brought with me a book and I want to present it and just talk about one of the great scholars of Tabligh, but not in our religion, from another faith, and show you how he used to work with pagans and work with atheists in his own time to try to be able to bring them towards faith. The book is called Early Christian Thinkers, and the book is edited by Paul Foster, and there's a number of articles on the 10 earliest Christian thinkers of the church. And I'm going to mention this book a couple of times throughout the series, but I want to read to you from one particular Christian scholar, and by the name of Theophilus of Antioch. Theophilus of Antioch. Theophilus he was the 6th bishop of Antioch and lived at the time of the emperor Marcus Verus. And this individual lived at around the year 185 AD. So you can see it's very early after Jesus Christ, alayhi salam. Being a Christian, as you know, at that time, Christians were, especially in Rome and in other parts, they were treated in a horrible way. We know famously about being thrown to the lions. They used to make up rumors about them. And so what this particular great Christian author did, he started to write letters to have debates with pagans, with Greek philosophers, to try to introduce to them the way their Christian faith was. And I want to quote to you a few things that he says, just to get a flavor of how he used to communicate, and then I want to show you the way in which he used to deal with some of the issues of his time. He actually used to write and mention to certain people, because the word Christian was a dirty word. Sometimes, in our own time, certain terms are also considered to be bad words. Muslim today, for many people, is a bad word. When I say bad word, what I mean is it's a word that causes aggression in the minds of people. It causes people to bring hatred in the minds of certain people. Shia, for some people, can also bring about hatred and animosity within people just by hearing this particular term. At the same time then, in 185 AD, the word Christian was a dirty word. In fact, if you were caught being Christian, you were put on trial without being able to defend yourself. It was immediately that you were found guilty for being a Christian in that particular time. So he writes an introduction, and he says the following: "You call me a Christian as if I were bearing an evil name. I acknowledge that I am a Christian. I bear this name which is beloved by God in the hope of being useful to God." You see, he's talking to an atheist. He's talking to a philosopher, a person who has a Greek mythology about the history of creation, about how gods are. And immediately he's impressing upon that person God and his relationship to God. I bear this name in mind, that this is beloved to God, in the hope of being useful to God. It is not the case, as you suppose, that the name of God is offensive. Perhaps you yourself are of no use to God, and therefore think about God in this way. The way in which you have cut yourself off to God, maybe now God has cut you off from him. And actually, the way in which he thinks of you, you now think of him. Now imagine this type of argumentation that was made at that time to a Greek philosopher. Now in his writings, he actually wrote 3 books. And he writes 3 books, and the way in which these 3 books are structured, he writes the first book introducing God and the nature of God. The second book, having now begun to grapple with this philosopher and exchange letters and exchange ideas, he then begins to elevate the level of discussion. And in the third discussion, he takes it to a higher level. I want to show you and read to you the way in which this person does his tabligh and da'wah at that time, dealing with pagans, dealing with atheists, dealing with Greek philosophers. So he wrote the first book, which is called Homilia. In this first book, he began to write and introduce to the reader of his book the philosophical foundations of his religion, and began to defend the nature of God and the nature of religion itself. Just introducing the idea of God's existence, what God should be like, how God should interact with human beings. Should human beings have a purpose within their existence? Having now wrote this, the philosophers used to write back to him and debate with him. The Greek philosophers used to write and respond back to him. And so now he wrote a second book, which is by the name of Syngrama. In this book, he now decided to mention that because you are less hostile to me, because you now have a curiosity about the things in which I am saying, I'm now going to change up the level of the discussion in which I'm having with you. And he begins to write at a higher level of discussion. And now he begins to write about the specific things that the person is curious about. You're interested in understanding this element of God? I'll direct my letters to you in this way. You're interested in understanding how religion affects your life in this way? I'm going to talk to you about it in this way. Having then now responded to the curiosities of those he was talking to, Theophilus now responds with a third book, and he starts writing a higher level of defense of God and religion, and starts talking specifically about morality and the necessity of divine ethics. That if you take God out of the universe, what will be the situation of people altogether? How will they interact with each other in terms of their ethics? How will you deal with each other when you face God on the day of judgment? The point being made in this book was that actually this particular individual, he understood how to be able to level and go at different levels when he called his tabligh. He wasn't just doing it in one particular level. He looked at the individuals, he looked at the circumstances of his time, and began to start with the nature of religion and the nature of God itself. This was always the starting point from prophets and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam in trying to tackle the challenges by ensuring they understood the nature of God itself. On the battlefield, someone came to Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi. On the battlefield, whilst Imam is on the battlefield, a Bedouin, elderly man came to him and said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I have a question for you. He says, go ahead. He says, tell me, is God one or is God more than one? The companions surrounding Amir al-Mu'mineen got angry. They said, how dare you ask this question? Imam is in the middle of a battle. Are you wasting his time with such a simplistic question? God is one or is God not one? Is there multiple gods or is there one God? Imam Ali alayhi salam said to his companions, quieten down. This question this man has asked is the very reason why we are here on this battlefield. The opponents want to destroy God. They want to remove God altogether. They want to go back towards their paganism. The reason why you and I are fighting against these individuals is because we want to establish the oneness of God. I will tell you that when it comes to tabligh and da'wah, the most common mistake that we make is that we end up creating something that is from our own mindset. We end up creating a type of God, a type of religion, a type of sect that is not in accordance with what the divine asked from us, and then I force to project it onto someone else, and they end up rejecting not God, my creation of God, my personal understanding of God. They don't reject religion, deen of Allah. They reject my version of deen. And as a result, I end up pushing these individuals away, not from the reality of what God is, not from the truth itself, but from the fiction that I have created. What's interesting is that you and I, we reject all other fictions, don't we? For example, when someone comes to us and says, God is both one and three at the same time, you will say, doesn't make sense to me. How can God be both one and three? How can God be both human and divine at the same time? How can God be both the one that was on the cross and not on the cross at the same time? It doesn't make sense to me. The same way you and I understand that that doesn't make sense, that we reject it because of the internal inconsistencies within it. We also have to realize that as the foundation of our tabligh and da'wah, not to fall into the same trap and do exactly the same thing to other people outside of us. We create a God that is false, and then they reject that false God, that false religion that we have created from ourselves. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi, was the one to prove God over and over and over again. You can imagine the ad'iyah that we recite, the du'as, the level in which Imam calls towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how he describes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example in Du'a Kumail. The purpose of us reciting these ad'iyah is not only just to be able to recite it, but to imbibe that type of God into our own selves, such that when we export and present God to other people, we are able to describe the God that Ali ibn Abi Talib described. We're able to express God the way in which Ali ibn Abi Talib expressed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the nights running up to the 19th of Shahr Ramadan, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam would come and say to his community members that this year you will do your Hajj without an Imam. This year will be the last year with your Imam. And of course, people could not understand this statement. And as the nights grew on, and Amir al-Mu'mineen would continuously say this and say this to his own children, they began to be aware of the reality that was about to befall them. The hadith says that when the sword struck the head of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the poison began to run through his body, when Imam was taken back towards his house and laid out on that bed which eventually would be his deathbed, they wrapped Ali ibn Abi Talib's forehead in a type of cloth in order to stop the bleeding. But what would come from that cut and that wound would be pus, to the extent that the narration says that his bandana, his cloth that was upon his head, would turn yellow from the amount of bile and poison that was coming from the head of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Not only this, the extent of the poison running through his body was so much that Amir al-Mu'mineen had to kick his legs in discomfort and in pain. This is the Imam that was on the battlefield that could withstand any amount of pain. And now the pain is so great that Amir al-Mu'mineen's legs are kicking back and forth due to the discomfort of the amount of pain that is coming inside. We are told that Amir al-Mu'mineen gathers his family in those last hours. He gathers them, and on one side of him, for example, is Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein. Besides him is Abu Fadl Abbas. Besides him is Sayyida Zainab and Sayyida Kulthum. It is said now that they come, Amir al-Mu'mineen calls Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam over towards him and starts to give to him his wasiyyah. He starts to tell him the asrar, the secrets of imamat, and tell him, "Oh Hassan, you are the imam after me." He places the hands of his family members into the hand of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. It now comes to the point where he begins to give his wasiyyah. He would say, "Allah, Allah, Aitam, Aitam, do not allow anyone to become more looking after the Aitam than yourselves. Allah, Allah, remember the Quran, remember that no one should be more of a reciter and an implementer of the Quran than yourselves. Allah, Allah, remember that you have to go towards Hajj. Allah, Allah, remember that if you are to bring people together, this is better than any other ibadah." Amir al-Mu'mineen gives his wasiyyah one last time. It is now where the family members know that the last hours of Ali is coming upon them. The narration tells us that Lady Zainab alayha salam comes towards her father. She places her head upon the chest of her father and she says, "Oh father, can I ask you about something?" He says, "Yes, my dear daughter, what do you wish to ask about?" She says, Ayman has told me that one day will come that I will return back to the city of Kufa, not like I am now as a princess from this family, but I will one day come back to Kufa. My arms will be bound, my legs will be bound, they will be throwing stones at me, they will be hurling abuse at me. Tell me, oh father, is this true? Will the day come about like this? He says, "Oh my dear daughter Zainab, indeed this day will come to you one day, but I ask you, bear patiently in this trial and tribulation." Then he says, "Oh my dear daughter Zainab, when it comes to the 10th of Muharram, on the day of Ashura, your father Ali will not be there to represent the family. I will not be there to assist Hussein ibn Ali. I have my wasiyyah to you. I want you to kiss the neck of Hussein on my behalf." ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون ماتم حسين يا حسين ماتم علي يا علي.
يا علي يا علي يا علي يا علي يا علي يا علي يا علي. All together, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. Louder, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, أحسنت, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. O Fatima Zahra, O Fatima Zahra, O Fatima Zahra, O Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima. Oh Fatima Zahra. Brothers and sisters, let us remember that one of the toughest moments of Amir al-Mu'mineen's life was to witness the musibah of Sayyidah Zahra. So keep this in mind. Let us all recite together. Let our voices reach the heavens, inshallah. Oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima. Ahsant. Oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra. Crying turns the day into night above the grave of Hassan. 6 feet beneath the earth, Hassan clings to his mother again, just like when he was a child, begging her to awaken. Even in death he wants Zahra alive and breathing in air. Oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra. Oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima. There is a land where clouds rain blood, owned by the son of Haydar. It's as if mourning Fatima forever is Karbala. Hussein tells Abbas, bring your hands, it's time to mourn my mother. Brother, the crushing of my ribs were all in honor of hers. Oh Fatima Zahra, all together. Oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra. There is a figure so lonely, his only friend is the moon. And while we all lament Zahra, only he visits her tomb. Every day his shadow asks him, Mahdi, is your return soon? So of the injustice she faced, you can make the world aware. Oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima, mashallah, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima. तन्हाई अली की, तन्हाई अली की, तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है, तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है, तन्हाई अली की. सब मिलके हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है, तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है, तन्हाई की. हाय गम में तेरे जाती रही, हाय गम में तेरे जाती रही, बीनाई अली की तेरी तन्हाई है, तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा हाँ तेरी तन्हाई है, तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा तेरी ہاں دربار میں ظالم کے گئی بنت پیمبر، کیا وقت تھا کچھ کرنا سکا فاتح خیبر، ہائے ہنستے رہے غربت پہ تماشائی علی کی، تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، پیغام ولایت لیے گھر گھر گئی زہرا، شوہر کے لیے ڈھالتی جب تک رہی زندہ، ہائے دنیا کو بتاتی رہی سچائی علی کی، تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی ہے ماشاءاللہ بلند آواز سے، ہائے زہرا ہاں تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی، کہتے تھے علی زہرا سے کیا وقت ہے بی بی، کہتے تھے علی زہرا سے کیا وقت ہے بی بی، اب ہم کو سلام کے بھی کرتا نہیں کوئی، ہائے ہے بات نبی کیسی پذیرائی علی کی، تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی ہے ماشاءاللہ تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی تنہائی علی کی، در جلتا ہوا فاطمہ زہرا پہ گرایا، در جلتا ہوا فاطمہ زہرا پہ گرایا، محسن کی شہادت کا سبب بن گئی دنیا، ہائے تصویر مکمل نہیں ہو پائی علی کی، تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی باہر کبھی حجرے میں کبھی قبر نبی پر، ہر رات کی تاریکی میں اولاد سے چھپ کر، ہائے نکلی ہے تجھے ڈھونڈنے بینائی علی کی، تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا تیری تنہائی ہے تنہائی علی کی، ہائے زہرا ماشاءاللہ تیری تنہائی پیغام ولایت لیے گھر گھر گئی زہرا، پیغام ولایت لیے گھر گھر گئی زہرا، شوہر کے لیے ڈالتی जब तक रही जिंदा हाय दुनिया को बताती रही सच्चाई अली की, तेरी तन्हाई है तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है तन्हाई अली की, हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है आखिरी बार बुलंद आवाज से, हाय ज़हरा तेरी तन्हाई है तन्हाई अली की। जज़ाकुमुल्लाह खैर। बर मोहम्मद व आलि मोहम्मद सलावत। सूरत मुबारकतुल फातिहा। توجه زيارة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا حسين الشهيد بكربلاء، السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي أبا الفضل العباس، جميعا شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب الأسر والزمان، سيدي الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن وكعبة الإيمان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك، واجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن